We'll now have some greetings from Belizean officials. We'll start with the ambassador message from H.E. Francis Daniel Guiterrez.
Thank you, Madam Mistress of Ceremonies. I'll tell you, despite your bravest efforts, it will be etched in my mind that you were a point guard and you were Ladies and gentlemen, before I get going, I had written something and it is included in the program, so I'm not going to go over that. That underscores the reason we gather in many ways. And we certainly want to emphasize the fact that our hearts remain not only, obviously, with those brave men and women, because the women are never mentioned, you realize that, but the men and women that over the course of from the 3rd to the 10th of September in 1798, and those who made the decision prior to that in 1797, took us on a course that has brought us today here, as you rightly point out. But also there are many number of Belizeans in uniform today, in the jungles along the border, and in our Coast Guard out in the deep blue sea. Those men and women proudly serve today back in the homeland. And I ask you, and I ask that we always remember them. But having said that, Consul General of Belize in California, Mr. Roland York. Mr. Roland, where did you get to? There you go. Representatives of the state of California, members of the Belizean family in the great state of California, and those who are visiting from beyond. Belizeans, on behalf of the government of Belize, I bring you greetings and well wishes on this, our season of celebrations. Let me start by thanking our team here in California, Mr. York, Ms. Carlin, Ms. Logan. We're grateful for your efforts and look forward to a continued and strong relationship between DC, Belmopan, and California. Consul General, for many years, you, sir, have been toiling in this great city of Los Angeles. You have offered many years of service to our community. The government of Belize hereby expresses its profound gratitude for your service. In these changing times, the community here in California can rest assured that the presence of the government of Belize will continue. As we speak, we're looking at ways to improve our services. We're working on and completing a consular manual and other standard operating procedures meant to have a more predictable and reliable services for all our diaspora throughout the United States. Our California office now has its own website, launched a few days ago, complete with an online scheduler for passport appointments. California also now has access to consular IDs with enhanced security features. These will be available over the next few days and weeks and to be announced by the office in LA. I urge you to take advantage of these tools made available by your government of Belize. Earlier this month, we reopened our passport station and consular office in Chicago. The idea was to improve upon what we had and become more responsive to the needs in that community. That evolution will continue all over the United States, and we welcome your ideas for improvement. You are a part of the improvement process. Do not hesitate to contact us through the right channels. These channels are available at the different offices. Ladies and gentlemen of the land behind the Great Reef of the Americas, Belizeans, I must also take a moment to thank all of you for the warm welcome that I have been given to the great city of Los Angeles. I'm very proud, I'm very appreciative of your kind welcome and look forward to working with this community through our Consul General in California. You know, sitting in Washington, D.C., and dealing with so many different areas that are of importance to the government of Belize and the government of the United States, it is easy to become lost in that world. But members of Belize's diplomatic corps can never forget that we have an inherent responsibility to do all that we can within the constraints of available resources for our people wherever they may be. Needless to say, that includes the diaspora in the United States and of course, right here in the great state of California. Ladies and gentlemen, I promise not to come here and talk too much. That is not the reason for us being here. But we have come here to celebrate, and celebrate we shall. Before I leave, I must remind you of why we gather here today. We gather to honor our country and our people. Belize, a unique place of unique people, blessed with diversity and blessed again with traditions of the free market, freedom of religion, freedom of speech that are unparalleled in our Central American region. It is easy to beat up on Belize, and I know many people do it from time to time. As Belizeans, we're some of our greatest critics. And while I know we are not perfect, I want to emphasize the following. Well over 100 million people. Guatemala, the largest economy in Central America, with well over 17 million people. We are 400,000. Those 400,000 must raise the money and pay the taxes that must build hundreds of miles of roads, build dozens of hospitals and staff them, plus provide medications. We must hire thousands of public servants and build billions of dollars in supporting public infrastructure. Imagine if a small area in LA or in New York or in Mexico had to do the same thing. And because our people, through the media, are now more exposed, our people not only demand that these services and infrastructure be provided, but they want it at a certain level, as they should demand, and as we must provide. That is our reality. That is what we're faced with, and that is what we must respond to. And like I said before, I know we are not perfect, but by and large, we get the job done. And more now, we're improving services and developing relevant infrastructure that will propel Belize into the future. My fellow Belizeans, I tell you that many from surrounding countries still see in Belize a land of opportunity and hope. And that is why they come to Belize. Investment in large sums is happening in your Belize, in areas of agriculture, tourism, business process outsourcing, and other non-traditional areas. Our economy keeps growing. Our infrastructure keeps improving. And if you don't believe me, I invite you to visit Belize the next chance you get. My friends, this is happening because your home is made of survivors, sons and daughters and grandchildren of those who carved a home out of the jungle. A home more and more people are finding desirable and more people are moving to. So whether you are a descendant of an African slave or indentured servants from India or China, whether, like me, your forefathers came through great wars in the 1800s, or you came more recently from neighboring republics, whether your forefathers came from Europe, or they were the builders of the greatest civilization in pre-Hispanic America, hold your head up high. You are a Belizean and you should be proud. I thank you.